What up, YouTube Alayks? Coming back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast. Spawning on the top right-hand side of the map, it's our yellow StarCraft 2 player, Azur. At least I think this is Azur. He submitted this game to me, but this looks like Korean characters. Let me know in the comments below if I am right. Going up against his opponent, spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map, it's our blue StarCraft 1 Zerg player. You heard me correctly. This is a StarCraft 1 Zerg. I can't read this name. I'm uncultured. I'm sorry. I can't read Korean. If this is in fact Korean, let me know if you recognize this player. Now, if you're not familiar with this mod, this game is brought to you by the StarCraft Evo Complete Mod, or the SC Evo Complete Mod. This mod puts the StarCraft 1 races against the StarCraft 2 races. So, I'm super stoked to be casting this. If you're new to my channel, I do cast a lot of custom and modded StarCraft 2 content. So, if custom StarCraft 2 is something you're interested in watching more of, please consider subscribing to my channel. My little heart would greatly appreciate it. Now back to the show. It looks like Azur is immediately going for the gold base, but our blue Zerg player, our blue StarCraft 1 Zerg player is immediately going to spot this. So these SCVs, these future SCVs will be in danger if our blue Zerg player decides to go for some sort of ranged attackers such as the StarCraft 1 Hydralisk, one of my favorite units of all time. So we'll see if our blue Zerg player decides to go for that. Taking a look at what our blue Zerg player is up to, he already has 6 Zerglings on the field. He has a macro hatchery on the way, and it looks like he's sending 2 of these Zerglings to wreak havoc on the yellow side of the map. Now, if you're not familiar with Brood War, we do not have queens in the sense of macro. There is a flying unit called the Queen that can infest your command center, but there isn't a queen that can inject larvae, so you need macro hatcheries if you want to keep up with your macro, essentially. So you only have 3 larvae per hatchery and no more. Taking a look at what we've got going, it looks like actually we have some really good scouting information. So these Zerglings do survive, but what do they spot? They spot a reactor on this barracks. So I'm getting some sort of cheesy vibe from Azur. He does have what is going to be, oh, was that combat shield? No. So he's got stim pack coming up. He has another barracks coming up. So he's going to be on 3 barracks, 1 with the tech lab, but 1 with that reactor. So he's going to be double pumping out Marines. He does have the gold base, which is now on its way to saturation. Only 1 SCV, but he does have the mule on that as well. So I think, is this going to be a 2-base all-in? Is that what we're seeing right now? I think we might be seeing a 2-base all-in. I think he's probably going to be waiting for stim pack. We'll see if he researches combat shield. He is going for that second tech lab, and yes, we have it right here. So we have the combat shield as well. Taking a look at what our blue Zerg player is up to, our blue StarCraft 1 Zerg player. I'm never going to get tired of saying that. He's going for a 3rd base. He does have that macro hatch though, so he's technically on 4 hatcheries, but one of them is not a mining hatchery, although he could, I guess, mine these minerals. It looks like he already mined out these minerals, if I'm not mistaken. Or actually, no. I think you spawn on this map with only half of the mineral line here. So I don't think he actually mined these out. He is closer to this gold mineral line. But yeah, this is just a macro hatchery, essentially. So that is interesting. What else do we have on the field, actually? So we also have the Hydralisk den. So he is going for Hydras as well. I wonder. I really want to see him. I really want to see him harass this mineral line. We already have full saturation on the gold minerals. What else do we have here? So Azur does spot. He does spot that Overlord in his base, but this Overlord will see that there's no natural base taken, and he's actually landing a base right here. So I guess he's not going for the 2-base all-in, but it looks like he's about to move out. Combat Shield and Stim both are going to be finishing up here shortly. What do we have here on the minimap? No way. No way. Is this an all-in? This is an all-in. So he's going for the all-in, but at the same time, our blue Zerg player is preparing for an attack with Speedlings. But these Marines are about to walk into the vision of this Overlord, and on the minimap we can see it. Our blue Zerg player is reacting to this. He's running back home, and we have 5. Wait, is this 5? No, this is 7 SCVs. This is 7 SCVs joining the fray. That is ridiculous. So this is very much an all-in coming from Azur. He's attacking the 3rd base. There's only a few workers here, so not too bad. But this hatchery is in danger. We have a lot of units right here, though. We have a lot of Zerglings, a lot of Hydras. Will these Marines survive? They do have the combat shield, and it looks like they do survive. For some reason, that Zerg army looked terrifying. I thought for sure that more Marines were going to go down. We have one Hydralisk that does get spawn killed. Rest in peace. This hatchery will go down. We have a couple Cocoons right here, but Cocoons, the tankiest thing in the game. And as we're realizing that, okay, there's no reason to attack these Cocoons, actually scouting up north, great game sense, deciding to go for what was the 4th base, now technically the 3rd base for the Zerg. Luckily, there's nothing here, no workers here, so this is still like free minerals at the very least, but at least he didn't lose workers, right? How many workers went down? So 7 workers killed by blue, and those were all workers that were part of that all-in, and 11 killed by yellow. So I don't know who came out ahead. Taking a look at the resources lost, it looks like yellow came out ahead, but these Marines getting surrounded by the Zerg. Zerg is coming for vengeance. All the Marines go down, but they will die heroes. At the very least, it's still 2,000 resources lost more than our than our yellow player, and great game sense by Azur as well. It looks like the blue Zerg player was trying to get some vengeance, going to go for the attack on those SCVs with the range of those Hydralisks, but not even losing a single SCV. Azur realizing that, okay, maybe this was a bluff, I'm gonna go right back to mining. I don't think he's noticed this Overlord though, so the Overlord will spot that there's probably some mining going on. We have another strike force of Marines, and look at them go. They are marching with a purpose. This is a lot of units, though. What is the army supply? It's actually 40 army supply to 20. So an army supply lead for our yellow Terran player, and we have what are going to be lurkers on the way, though. So luckily for Azur, he's playing StarCraft 2 Terran. They basically have infinite scans, not actually, but basically. So the lurkers won't do too much damage to him if he plays smart, if he treats them like siege tanks. If he engages directly with the lurkers, then yeah, okay, maybe they'll do a lot of damage. He did check for the northern expansion. We'll see that it is not occupied, but we have what is going to be 1-1 attack on the way. Actually, wait a minute, taking a look at the upgrades. So we have one ranged attack upgrades, 1 melee attack upgrades for our Zerg player, and we have 1-1 for the Terran player. But it looks like this is going to be an attack on the potential 4th base location. Is this? Yes, this is the 4th base location for our Terran player. We do have the lurkers, though. It looks like the blue Zerg player is trying to set himself up for a decent engagement, making more lurker cocoons also, and we have what is going to be one of my favorite unit compositions, which is Lurker Hydralisk, the StarCraft 1 Lurker Hydralisk combo. This is so sick. Oh, man. We have some of the units getting pulled, but we have what are a bunch of lurker cocoons that just now finished. And the lurkers actually make themselves known. So Azur realizes, okay, I can't engage fully in this army, throws down to scan, sees exactly how many lurkers are right here, and I don't think he's gonna try and engage this. I would not try and engage this if I were the Terran player. I would be happy just leaving. Does lift off this command center as well. Will be able to at least keep it alive. The Zerg army moving forward, though, with the lurker support. We do have a lot of medevacs right here, but Azur is kind of stuck. He's trapped between 2 lurkers. There's nothing he can do without taking damage. A lot of these lurkers are just doing so much splash damage on this yellow Terran army, and now the blue Zerg player is feeling a lot more confident going forward. The natural base location of our yellow Terran player. Will he be able to break this wall? I mean, this supply depot was burrowed, so he could have run some speedlings into the mineral line if he wanted to. We do have the tank on the high ground, a couple tanks on the high ground, doing some splash damage to the Zerg army. These lurkers trying to stay away from that splash damage, actually burrowing in a really nice location. What do we have here? We have what is going to be a drop at the same time, so Azur is feeling very confident in this situation. To be fair, he does have the tanks on the high ground. Let's see how much damage he does in the natural base location. Oh no. We also have the Sunken Colony, which is static, anti-ground static defense, and it looks so cool, but unfortunately, it is just too far away from the drop. It looks like the engagement on the front line for the yellow Terran player is also cleaned up, but Oh man, this is rough. How many workers went down? 23 workers killed so far by yellow this game, 16 by blue, and 7 of those were in that initial all-in push, but it looks like the lurkers able to save the day, kind of, just a little bit too late. This hatchery does go down. The medevacs will fly away empty. They just watched their Terran allies die, and they're like, hey, look, at least the lurkers don't shoot up, and then they just flew away. What amazing medevacs. You know, it's their first day on the job. It's whatever, you know, they'll do better. They'll do better next time. Taking a look at the worker supply right now, it's 36 workers to 54 in favor of our yellow Terran player. Army supply way in favor of our yellow Terran player. 82 army supply to 31 army supply for the blue Zerg player. So 31 army supply, excuse me, for the blue Zerg player. Taking a look at the upgrades, it's still 1-1 for the Zerg. We're now at 2-2 for our Terran player. We have one scan. Great idea, placing what is going to be a missile turret in the middle of the map, kind of the middle of the map, at least a forward missile turret, so he won't have to worry too much about throwing down scans, but, you know, it's easy to snipe a missile turret. It can't move, and here we go. We have what is going to be an engagement towards the yellow side of the map. It looks like this SCV will go down, so this missile turret not even getting the cancel on that. We do have the scan, though, and we have the Liberator supporting the defense with that siege tank as well. So we have a flying siege unit and a grounded siege unit. This is not a place that the Zerg wants to be. He realizes that, decides to run away. He's like, screw that. We're not going to deal with a Liberator and a siege tank. And Azur, he is just he's unbreakable, man. He's like, okay, look. You destroyed that one attempt at a missile turret? I'm just going to put another one down. I don't care. I don't care. He is unfazed. He is unfazed. And he's also a really good StarCraft player. I've cast a lot of his games. We have what is going to be another lurker on the field, and we have the Scourge as well. So, if you're not familiar with Brood War, the Scourge is basically a flying Baneling. It's only anti-air, but this is going to be crazy against dropships, or against medevacs, I should say. Dropships are the StarCraft 1 medevac equivalent, but they don't heal. But this is going to be crazy, and they're so fast, so we'll see how these Scourge fare. We also have what was an expansion on the gold base on the right side of those gold minerals, likely to get that high-yield Vespene Geyser, but here we go. Check it out. The Scourge taking out all the medevacs, and now we have what is going to be, oh no, what is going to be the Terran army left behind, able to snipe the Spire at the very least, but they will all go down, and man, they did die heroes. We have a couple Marauders left that are like, okay, maybe they won't notice. Maybe they won't notice if we just chill. But what Azur could also do is just run into this long-distance mining situation and do some damage. So this kind of confused me for a sec, but we do have the rich Vespene Geyser. So that is likely why our blue Zerg player, our blue StarCraft 1 Zerg player is trying to expand right there. We also have what was, it looks like a scouting overlord that got absolutely blasted out of the sky by 2 missile turrets. It looks like this missile turret got the kill. We have the one Marauder right here with 0 kills. Will he force the cancel on this? No, he won't force the cancel on that hatchery. We do have the lurker here with 8 kills, able to support that hatchery. We have what is going to be an attack coming towards the middle of the map, but this is a pretty big strike force of Terran units, I gotta say, and this situation is basically unbreakable. I really don't know what Zerg can do with the current composition that he has. He just has to basically overrun that. What I would do is maybe get some more Zerglings, run them into the mineral line, or attempt to. I mean, we do have the siege tank and the Liberator, but at the very least, maybe run Zerglings right here into the mineral line, try to take out some of the SCVs, and then snipe the planetary fortress, because these SCVs, if you pull them all onto that planetary fortress, it is going to be ridiculously hard to kill. We also have what looks to be like a preparation of medevacs and Terran bio units. I think Azur is preparing for a drop, but our blue Zerg player realizing that some shenanigans is going on, and oh man, these lurkers like landmines taking out the entirety of that Terran strike force. Army supply is still in favor of our yellow Terran player. 89 army supply, now 90 army supply to 61, now 64 army supply for the Zerg player. From that entire engagement, though, we have 1 medevac with 7 HP, and that is it. So that was a really good pickup for our blue Zerg player. Looks like our Zerg player is also going for an attack. Simultaneously, though, we have this hatchery, which is once again in danger. taking out that Lurker immediately. We also have the Ravens, which will provide detection for this Terran army. The Scourge, though, such a good answer to those Liberators, able to just blow them out of the sky. And now we have the StarCraft 1 Hydralisks just melting through the Terran bio army. So unfortunately did lose that hatchery, but at the very least got a pretty good pickup there. Taking a look at the resources lost tab, now a slight deficit for our yellow Terran player. 13,000 resources lost to 12,000 resources lost. Taking a look at the upgrades, we're now at 2-2 for our Zerg player and 3-3 for our Terran player. So we have a bit of an upgrade lead for our yellow Terran player, Azur. We also have what is an attempt at denial at this, what is this, 4th or 5th base location at this point? Actually, no, we have so many expansions. I want to say this is like base number 7, but I'm not going to bother counting. There's too much stuff going on. I can't count right now. We also have what is going to be, I think a strike force of Lurkers. They are trying to stay out of range of this planetary fortress, but will they survive is the question. We have a lot of detection right here. Not only do we have the planetary, we also have the Liberator with the 0 kills, this planetary fortress with the 2 kills. We have the Zerglings trying to do some damage right here. And the Hydralisks coming to help out with this engagement. Will this planetary fortress go down? These SCVs working their hearts off. They are working so hard to keep this planetary fortress alive. The planetary has 15, now 18 kills. It goes down with 19 kills to its name. Ultimately, though, will lose that base. Azur, though, he doesn't care. He's going for what is, I want to say, the 4th base location for our Zerg player. We have some Zerglings that are about to hatch, but they are going to run away, and I agree with that. This is not something that a few Zerglings can take care of. The hatchery does go down. We have the Liberators supporting this. We have the Ravens with that detection. Oh man. Luckily for our blue Zerg player, this isn't mined out. So, unless Azur lifts off, he can't just walk through towards the main base. But we do see a huge liftoff. About half of this Terran army will just say, you know what, we don't care about this mineral line. We're just going to jump right across it with these medevacs. And this is a really interesting map because you have 2 points of vulnerability for your main base. And then I feel like this is really a map that gives the advantage to Terran with their medevacs. And oh man, here we go. We have what is the macro hatchery. It will go down. We have so many Zerglings. They are like zombies, bro. With the Lurkers as well, so much of this Terran army will get melted. Taking a look at the resources lost, almost even, almost identical actually. 19,000 to 19,000. Worker supply, honestly, not so bad either. It's about even. 53 worker supply for our blue Zerg player, 55 for our yellow Terran player. But man, army supply is way in favor of Azur. 77 army supply for our yellow player to 25 for our blue Zerg player. We have a scan right here, and these poor Lurkers, there's just not enough. They will go down. This medevac does not have any energy, though, but it doesn't matter. And now it looks like okay, it looks like they're taking a little break. They're like, okay, you know what? This is a good spot for coffee, right in the literal main base of the Zerg. No medevacs here with energy at this point. It looks like they will be able to clean up the Terran army. We also have one Raven that is somehow alive, and the medevac that's also somehow alive. This is actually ridiculous. The Raven will likely go down. Nope. The Raven will likely not go down, apparently, and also will throw an auto turret on the Vespine Geyser. That is such a troll, and then it flies away. It has 11 kills. It's happy. It will go home with a definite bonus or a raise at the very least. At the very least, that Raven will get promoted. Oh, that is so funny. We do have the attempt on the hatchery right here as well. What the Blues should really think about doing, though, I know he doesn't necessarily have the money for it, is get another macro hatchery somewhere that he deems it safe, because he's really struggling with the army supply at this point. Taking a look at the resources lost, still relatively even. Taking a look at the production tab, we have 3-3 on the way, almost finished for the ranged attack upgrades. We also are going to be Zerglings trying to clean up some of these missile turrets, likely to open the door for for the Lurkers later on. At the same time, this northern base once again in danger, but this is a lot of Zerg units. But it looks like the Marines and the Marauders, they do not care. The bio is just too strong. Blue throwing out the GG, giving the victory to our yellow Terran player. What a crazy cool matchup. If you enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want me to cast any of your own games, I will leave my email and Discord in the description below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.